Imagine a city of 1 million people. Palaces, temples, markets, hundreds of kilometers of canals. The largest city on Earth in its time. And then, silence. The jungle didn't come all at once. It waited. And when the people left, it took the city back. This is Angkor, and this is its story. The 9th century AD. On the territory of modern Cambodia, a state is born that will become the greatest power in Southeast Asia within a few centuries. The Khmer Empire. Its founder, Jayavarman II, declared himself God King in 802 AD. Devaraja, a living incarnation of Shiva on earth. This was not a metaphor, this was state religion. Every new ruler built his own central temple, not as a place of worship, but as a mountain. As Meru, the sacred axis of the universe in Hindu cosmology. The taller the tower, the closer to the gods, the more legitimate the power. That is how Angkor came to be. At first, a wooden city, then stone, then something for which we still have no adequate word. By the 12th century, Angkor covered more than 1,000 square kilometers. For comparison, the size of modern London. But without electricity, without engines, without iron. 1113 AD. Suryavarman II ascends the throne. He begins building a temple that will outlast his empire by 8 centuries. Angkor Wat. 5 towers, lotus blossoms reaching toward the sky. The central spire, 65 meters tall. Around it, concentric galleries. Moats 190 meters wide. The second longest man-made body of water in the ancient world. The outer wall perimeter, 5.5 kilometers. Scholars estimate its construction required around 300,000 workers, 6,000 elephants, and 30 years of uninterrupted labor. The walls are covered in bas-reliefs stretching nearly 8 kilometers. This is the largest panoramic sculpture in the history of humanity. On them, mythology, war, life after death. Apsaras, heavenly dancing figures, frozen in stone in 1,000 poses. Not one is repeated. Originally, Angkor Wat was a Hindu temple, the mausoleum of Suryavarman. Then the Khmer adopted Buddhism, and the temple became Buddhist. It has been in use ever since. It is the only temple in the complex that was never abandoned. But Angkor Wat is just one building in an enormous city. Half a century later, another king, Jayavarman VII, builds a new capital. Angkor Thom, the Great City. Area, 9 square kilometers. Walls, 8 meters high. 5 gates. On each, 54 figures holding a Naga serpent. Smiling stone faces watch you from the towers. At the center of the city, the Bayon Temple. 54 towers. 216 faces. Who are they? The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara? The king himself? Scholars still debate. But these faces are the most recognizable image of Angkor. Slightly smiling, all-seeing, serene, as though they have already witnessed everything that is yet to come. Jayavarman VII also built hospitals, 102 of them across the empire. Roads with rest houses every 15 kilometers. Canals, reservoirs. This was not simply a religious fanatic. This was a state builder. The key to Angkor is water. The region has 2 seasons, dry and monsoon. Rice is everything. Without water, no rice. Without rice, no city. Khmer engineers constructed one of the most complex irrigation systems in the ancient world. Baray, vast artificial reservoirs. The West Baray, 8 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide, still filled with water to this day. Canals connected temples, fields, and the Tonle Sap Lake. Water was stored during the rainy season and distributed through the dry season. Scholars long debated whether irrigation was the primary function of this system, or whether it was ritual, to mirror the celestial ocean. Satellites gave us the answer. LiDAR scanning in 2012 revealed Angkor was not simply a city, it was a hydraulic metropolis whose very life depended on water. And it was water that ultimately destroyed it. The 14th and 15th centuries. Angkor weakens. The causes, as always in history, are not one but several, tightly interwoven. First, trade moved to the sea. Port cities of southern Vietnam and Thailand seized the routes. Angkor, a landlocked city, lost its economic relevance. Second, climate. Paleoclimatologists studied tree rings and lake sediments. What they found? Between the 14th and 15th centuries, the region endured a series of catastrophic droughts, interspersed with massive floods. The irrigation system that sustained Angkor could not withstand the extreme strain. Canals silted up. Reservoirs filled beyond capacity and burst. Third, the Thai kingdom of Ayutthaya. In 1431, the Thais sacked Angkor. This was not the end. The Khmer reclaimed the city. But the blow struck a capital already on its knees. Around 1432, the court relocated south to the region of modern Phnom Penh, closer to the sea, closer to the trade routes. Angkor did not die overnight. It simply ceased to be needed. Buddhist monks remained in Angkor Wat. The rest of the city emptied, and the jungle began its work. 1860. French naturalist Henri Mouot pushes through the Cambodian jungle in search of tropical butterflies and finds something else entirely. Grander than anything left to us by Greece or Rome, he would write in his diary. Local people, of course, had always known about Angkor. They lived nearby. They worshipped in the temples. But for the Western world, this was a discovery. French researchers began studying, clearing, restoring. But some temples, Ta Prohm among them, were deliberately left as found. The roots of giant fig trees and silk cotton trees embrace the stone, grow through it, hold the walls together, and simultaneously tear them apart. A conscious choice to show how nature reclaims what is hers. Today, Angkor is the largest religious monument in the world. More than 400 temples across 400 square kilometers. Every year, more than 2 million visitors come. But Angkor was never just a monument. It was a living city, the center of the universe for hundreds of thousands of people. A place where gods lived in stone and kings were gods. These faces have been smiling for 8 centuries. They outlived the kings who commissioned them. They outlived the religion they served. They outlived the empire that built them. And they keep smiling still, as though they know something we do not.